To another Woods Report. We're doing a review of The Breakfast Club, and today's date is what?
Is July 29th, Friday.
Okay, July 29th. So they started off with talking about how Kamala Harris came to Brooklyn, and she's working with an organization that is bringing large companies to start investing in minority small businesses. So she's trying to show that they need to pour into these communities, companies like Google and other companies, and give money back and start helping these small minority businesses grow. Okay. So that was what Angela Lee said. She went to some kind of thing that she was at yesterday, Thursday. So they talked about that. They talked about Beyonce. Her new album is officially out today. And again, people having all kind of listening parties. They had them at midnight, and she went ahead. Beyonce went ahead and thanked everybody who did not just put her album out there, and that they officially waited and let it go out.
Except for the leak, though.
Right, except for the people who leaked it. She said this album is creative for her. It was allowing her to be free
during
and
the pandemic,
being creative.
She had.
She thanked her family and Jay-Z and her kids. The name of the album is Renaissance. And she just basically just says she just thanked everybody for allowing her to do this album. I've heard a couple of people give viewpoints on the album, and Jason Lee, who is a Hollywood Unlocked, and he's a guy who's gay and he's a reporter, and he said that the album appeals to the type of music it is appeals to like gay people and stuff.
Oh,
so
really?
he was saying if your man is listening to this music and humming the words, you might want to double check.
So they're gonna be criticized.
So I don't know. Is this a man's album? So I don't know.
They said that she uses her music and so forth to speak messaging. There's messaging behind this, so it's probably geared towards what's going on now with the LGBTQ community and so forth. They talked about it on what's that major news show that comes out every David Muir? When it's announced on that show, then you know it's big. Okay, for his show to announce.
So he basically just made fun and said if your guy is humming this Beyonce album, you might want to double look.
And that's why she had.
So I don't know if guys are going to be involved. Yeah, with Big Frida. So I don't know if guys are going to run from this album because gay guys are saying, you know, it's kind of a free album, but and I don't know. Whatever.
But most straight guys, heterosexual men, are not part of the Beehive.
No, I don't know. See, I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
I don't want them buzzing around if they are, and then they in the comments.
I said most because a lot of times there are men that they like her.
Are they Beyonce fans? Maybe not.
They don't consider themselves a Beehive a fan. That fanatic, and maybe she may have a lot of LGBTQ followers.
I don't know.
That's amongst the male.
But he was just making a joke.
Okay.
Charlamagne said that he hadn't had time to listen to it. He feels like music is a spiritual thing, and he needs to take time to listen to albums when they come out so that he can feel the music when it comes out.
Okay.
So he hasn't had time to listen to it. So that was the latest.
See if he be humming.
Khalees, the one that sung my milkshake bring all the boys to the yard, and they're like, she's saying that they sampled one of her songs. Beyonce sampled her song and didn't give her any credit. And didn't tell her about it, or they didn't give her any credit.
Well,
So she's been going on a whole media thing saying that she don't like how it's the music industry is hypocritical.
Oh, yes.
She said how Pharrell made a whole big old thing about how artists should get credit and about how
he didn't give Marvin Gaye's family credit.
Well, she was saying hypocritical because she said he went on a whole thing about how artists don't get credit and
they don't get
recognition. Should give them recognition.
They should be paid for their gift.
She said he got writing credit on several of her songs, and she said he didn't write one word. So that's according to her. So she's saying that she's tired of the music industry being hypocritical, and she wants them to practice what they preach and all this other stuff. And some people are saying, well, it's the music business. You know what it's like. Why are you being so vocal? You already know. And then some people are saying, let her say whatever she wants. She has the right to say what she wants. So it's a mixed view on her coming out and really going after Beyonce. Then DJ Envy was saying that it's really the music, the company that gets clears all of this. Beyonce may not have known anything about it because it's the company that's doing all the clearing. When you get, she might already assume that you know
that
and
they
that
got okay from her,
right? That they got okay or whatever. So you blaming the artist. Sometimes you blame the artist, and the artist may not know.
She needs to go right to the source.
She can't just call Beyonce. So she going to social media.
No, I'm saying not the source. I mean, she needs to go directly to the people that produces her,
right, to find out how.
To find out, I didn't see any paperwork saying that you got clearance to use this.
Or does she even own the song that Beyonce sampled?
Like I'm cut off. I'm sorry.
Because if Beyonce doesn't, Kelis, her name is Kelis, I think. If she doesn't own the rights, then she would never hear about it because
she's just wolfing.
They don't even have to go to her. But I don't know. So we don't know the whole details of this.
She is pretty much right, though. There is some hypocrisy in the whole. In fact, there's hypocrisy everywhere. So it's unfortunate that she feels like it's that she's been, that she's been wronged, and the hypocrisy is even with her situation. But there's hypocrisy everywhere you go, so it's unfortunate. If you've got proof, if you got, what is it, where you can prove that that person has not, that they've been hypocritical, because we have an old president that's hypocrisy.
Right.
We can talk about that later.
Every time I think about people saying one thing,
he's the president of the United States.
Every time I think about somebody saying something in music and doing something different, I always think of P. Diddy. Because he always saying how, artists should get credit. And he the biggest person to rip people off, allegedly. So. And Babyface, the same thing. So,
okay.
But that's the music. I mean, that's the music industry. Woo. So, are they doing what the music industry is?
Well,
and they're just following suit?
Well, look what happened with Prince.
Right.
And what did Prince do?
So
look what happened with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And what did Stevie Wonder do? You got to fight back.
But May's been trying to buy his music back from P. Diddy for years, and he hasn't. So the whole thing. So we don't know.
I think the sad thing about it is that if we have clauses and loopholes that allow P. Diddy and Babyface,
right,
Prince with his situation,
but it's always been like that.
If you don't have your lawyers really fine-toothing that contract
before, but they should be so happy that they.
Then you
but
wouldn't
now,
have that issue.
Now I don't even know why people sign deals, because you could go on social media and become a millionaire.
Like Chance.
Yeah, what do you need a deal for? I don't know. For me, if they still doing stuff like that, Kelis is back in the day, so I understand that.
Okay.
But anybody now, if you write music and you got music out there and you still running the record labels and companies to do deals for you, to me, you backwards. Yeah. It's so many. I mean, seriously, we got 1 million hits on our channel alone, and we nobodies.
Right.
So imagine if I was doing music and 1 million people came here and listened to my song. That's 1 million people.
You sample it.
We could be singing right now. 1 million of y'all would have been listening to us right now. What do I need a record deal for? So that's my opinion. If your talent is good enough, it'll go through all
I
of
guess
that.
sometimes the deals protect your art, protect your work.
Well, they put money,
like an image.
They put money out ahead of time so that you do videos. And you could use your iPhone and do a video. You don't need to have a fancy record label do a video for you. So again, in this day and age, I don't understand it. So back in the day, I do, because we didn't have social media. They also talked about the new Instagram changes. People hate the new Instagram changes. It's starting to look like TikTok. So now when you sign into Instagram, a bunch of random people's videos are on your homepage. Whereas before, it's just your friends, like Facebook.
Oh, okay.
But now Instagram is random. It's like I could get on there and see everybody's
Are
video.
they doing it with the topic or something?
No, it's just random. They just pushing out. Everybody trying to be TikTok. YouTube with these shorts are trying to compete with TikTok. Because TikTok, everybody's on TikTok. I see more people on TikTok than on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
So we have a TikTok. Go there, the Woods Report.
Okay.
Everybody's on TikTok. So now it's like everybody's trying to compete. And so now they're making their platforms look like TikTok. And it's like, no, don't do that. Try to be unique and then try to figure out how you can still capture people by being unique. Don't all mirror each other.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what people
are blending.
Yeah. So the guy who's the main guy of TikTok, everybody know who he is. I can't remember his name. Mm-hmm. He said they took in consideration what people are saying. He said he may have a blend. Mm-hmm. So look for some changes. It'll still be some new features, but they're gonna try to blend the old with the new more.
Okay.
The Mega Million lottery is still unclaimed. Right. It's up to 1 billion. So we're going to get a ticket today. Ooh, it's the second biggest now in history.
Now, this will be the one that you would think a whole bunch of people. I'm cut off. I like it like this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But are you moving? Because we haven't moved, and you keep moving.
I'm the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's cut off like.
Well, let's try to find a spot and leave it.
Yeah.
So you got a spot now?
Yeah, I want you to not touch it. That's what I'm saying. I found the spot and then you touched it again. I saw myself cut off again.
All right, here we go.
But
so the Mega Million.
Yeah, this will be one of those things where you want a bunch of people to win because you can't. One person just can't.
No, I want one person. Me. If I win, I want to win $1 billion.
Because you still win a lot if it's at least 5-6
$1 billion is one person.
Because how much is it now?
$1 billion.
Oh, I thought it was more than $1 billion.
It's $1 billion and 3 or something.
It's over $1 billion.
Yeah, okay. It's still $1 billion, like 1.3 or something.
Okay.
One person is become an automatic billionaire if they win. I would love that. So I want to buy a ticket. So they was just talking about somebody spent $50,000 on tickets.
Oh my goodness! This one man, I think his company.
That's what that thing. He spent $50,000
for his company.
Yeah.
What company is that? That was it was on the news.
But he spent
$50,000
on tickets.
What group was it? It's not Chick-fil-A or something.
So they was asking,
it was like that. He bought it for all his employees.
And they was asking, does that increase your chances more? I guess it does, but right now it's 1 in every 300 million, I believe. So getting more tickets, I guess, increases your chances. But it's gonna always be somebody with one ticket that won, and somebody who don't even know they won. They gonna win $1 billion. That's the way it always is.
We'll hear from them for a while.
But I definitely want to get it. It's tonight. The drawing is tonight. So I never played a lottery, but for $1 billion,
go to the machine.
You go to the gas station
and
Mega Millions.
You either tell them numbers or
you can either tell them numbers or do random.
And you got to get all the numbers right.
If you get certain ones, don't you get certain portions? See, we don't play the lottery, but I'm gonna play it today for $1 billion.
Like if you got to get
so
all
it's
$5
billion. Again, remind me to go out to get a lottery ticket.
Okay.
So we ain't gonna buy 100 of them, just one. And I can tell you right now, you don't, even if the person is hidden, you'll know we won because you won't see us on this tomorrow. Even though the hidden, it won't tell you, even though they don't tell you who wins, everybody who watches this show will say
you gotta be careful
they won because I know
people to
go to the media and say I think those girls on the Woods Report won because they ain't filmed nothing Saturday.
We didn't film. I don't want people thinking that and they be knocking on our door.
They can.
You said if you're not on, you may have.
And I have to laugh because there's honestly, come knock on the door. We won't be here the day I win $1 billion.
You're leaving somewhere.
I'm not even taking the stuff that's in this house or my clothes. I don't need my clothes or anything in this house.
But you know
I'm a billionaire.
What's the first? That's a poll.
Are you kidding me?
Do a poll. What's the first thing? The first few things you need to do when you found out you've won.
I put the poll up there for the $1 million lottery, not the $1 billion.
What's the poll?
I said, would you buy a new house? Would you buy a new car? Would you quit your job? It was something else I said, would you do all the above at the same time?
I wasn't even thinking that. For some reason my mind went to your lawyer, your accountant. Have that circle of people ready because think about it. That's a large sum of money. You need some clarity, direction.
Ridiculous. That's a ridiculous.
You need an accountant. You need a lawyer in your circle pull in. And
I want it all.
They're gonna come running because they getting the fee. I don't want
it every month. I want whatever. Even if you take half and give me $500 million, I'll take $500 million.
That's what the lawyer and the
accountant
will give you direction.
Even if it's $1 billion and with everybody, it chops down to $200 million. I'll take the $200 million versus you paying me for the rest of my life for whatever.
Yeah, lump sum.
I want one lump sum. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it goes from $1 billion to $2 million. I'll take the $2 million.
Everybody,
one lump sum.
If we're not filming, don't come looking for us.
Because I don't know if I'm gonna be here the next day or the day after. You paying me one lump sum, and I'm dead.
And this is what state? Illinois, right?
All over. It's a mega million.
The mega is all over. See, that shows you I don't know how to play.
So they talked about.
I know there's state to state ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we gonna get that. Know that we getting that ticket, and
that gas station is happy because they get a portion too.
They talked about JetBlue is buying Spirit Airlines.
So that's the discussion that was. I didn't remember who was buying who.
JetBlue is buying Spirit.
Okay.
And Charlamagne said he don't like that because he's a JetBlue person, and everybody say Spirit is ghetto.
Well, I think if you said JetBlue
is buying Spirit.
They may take on how they operate.
Well, he said he don't know. Sometimes it's
they buy as is.
He said sometimes it's like putting a lipstick on a pig. He said sometimes it's like your homie going out with some scuzz bucket.
You know what?
He said, is the scuzz bucket gonna rub off on your?
That analogy.
Is the scuzz bucket gonna rub off on your homie, or is your homie gonna rub off on the scuzz bucket?
Yeah.
So they're hoping.
I'm thinking the person that's purchasing is going to make the decisions on things. And how
as long as they don't put lipstick on a pig.
Okay.
As long as you don't just put JetBlue's name on the side of the Spirit Airline, thing, and still run it the same way.
That's true.
So that's kind of what he's saying. If they absorb Spirit and Spirit stop charging people for if you take your shoes off, they charge you on Spirit. If everything they just anything you ask for on Spirit, they charge you for. That's the most ghettoest airline.
It is.
Can I have a cup of water? We charge 25 cents for that.
Was that Spirit that I was on, or I didn't do JetBlue, so it must have been Spirit.
Right, Spirit.
But yeah, let's hope. You guys, usually when a merger happens, because that happens.
Usually they go with the better one.
That happened with my old company. We merged. A larger financial company bought us.
We'll see.
We was partying because they got the money, and they built us, and then we just went on our own later.
So we'll see.
Let's see.
They talked about new laws that are trying to be passed about protecting the artists, because now they can use your rap lyrics in your song, your music lyrics when you're on trial. So they trying to say that that's not right, and that's true, because how many songs have we always heard? I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot. If he goes on trial, they're gonna say, well, he wrote a song about I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Jeopardy or whatever. Deputy or whatever.
Okay.
So should lyrics from your song be used in your trial? Now I go back and forth on this. I feel like lyrics from your song should be used in your trial if your trial has something to do with that lyrics. If that man who wrote I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy,
and he
actually shot a sheriff, I think that should be used in there.
Yeah, because a lot of times the music is we're influenced by something.
Right.
Something triggers us, or an experience,
right,
or what we think about and daydream about,
right,
comes out in our art.
But I don't think that. I think they targeting black music and rappers, because they don't do that
with the Kill the Police.
They don't do that with other artists. They don't do that with rock and roll. They don't do that with art. People who paint, graphic type of things. They don't do something, bring that into their trial. So I feel like, as long as
that means that they need to do it across the board, because you got to expect the boy who did the shooting at Highland Park. He was the music that he's listening to. Those artists,
and what if the song don't have to do anything? That's what I'm saying. So no,
you have to be careful with that.
People are crazy. Period. Whether they watch a video game or something. We watch video games and Donkey Kong and all that. And him hitting somebody on the head. I'm not gonna go out and hit somebody on the head with a barrel.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's stupid.
Can it be used in a cake court?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's a good question though.
They talked about Jimmy Butler, the basketball player.
What about him?
He got
Chicago.
He got fake locks, dreadlocks.
Really?
Now I have real dreadlocks.
Why would he get fake?
So a lot of people getting fake ones. Faux locks.
Now, you had real ones before, right?
But he wanted them long. So you can't say why people got faux locks. Women get fake locks.
Look, I don't mean.
So let's talk about it.
An athlete?
Now I'm a lock person.
A male athlete?
Let me talk about it. Locks? Now I'm gonna talk about it. People was calling in. Guys who had real locks was calling in. A lot of
them. Can you wait until they grow?
A lot of them was calling in. They don't know how they feel about men getting fake locks.
Yeah.
But they've been getting them, and they also don't like the fact that he got blonde on the end and saying that they calling him Jimmy Bundle now. The guys is calling him Jimmy Bundle. But men been wearing toupees. What's the difference between a toupee and fake locks?
And I had to pull the name up because he was another guest on the show that was today. If a Billy Porter
got fake locks,
then we understand. But not a basketball player.
You mean a straight man?
I'm just
you saying Billy Porter? You saying a gay man versus a straight man?
No, because we don't know. There's some basketball players that's probably gay.
Oh, so you said even if he's a gay basketball player, don't get fake locks?
As an athlete.
Oh, okay.
A football player, a basketball player, a hockey player. Why you gonna get fake locks?
But why
you already got to deal with your hair making pulled out?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why you make a distinction with an athlete?
Because they're athletic, and I'm thinking they're involved in the sports. And you got the guys with the long locks with the football helmets.
Right.
I feel for them because if their hair's really thick, it makes that helmet probably a little uncomfortable.
Right.
But you don't think of an athlete,
a
male athlete, adding extensions. I have never heard of that.
Yeah, so he gonna they was calling in being funny, talking about Allen Iverson changed the game with braids.
Yes.
Maybe Jimmy Butler gonna change the game
Allen Iverson didn't add extensions.
Well, I see a lot of guys are getting them now. And Charlamagne was trying to crack on Jay-Z, talking about he got them, but I think that's real. Jay-Z's real hair.
Yeah, like
he's talking about he went from little, small, and then the next day or whatever was long. But then DJ Envy and Angela said, no, it was growing. You can see it growing. He said, I don't see a middle. I see when they were small, and the next time I see it was long. So he's trying to have people say that Jay-Z's locks might be fake. But anyway, even if they fake, whatever. Do you care? We'll put it out there. Do you care?
For some reason, I do for the industry that they're in. I have an issue with
what about a regular guy, not an athlete?
I have a problem with the regular guy too. They gotta be in an industry where that's accepted. It's like wearing makeup.
So if he's a guy
he's on stage, he's in movies.
So if he's a regular guy,
he's a model.
If he's a regular guy that goes to work and he gets lock extensions, you have a problem with that?
I do.
Okay,
because that means that he's really,
why?
For some reason, I know there are men that you meet that are into
What if he has a toupee? That's fake.
I laugh at that too.
So you have a problem with a man with a toupee?
I do. I want him to be his real. If he got a
and they also got frontals. They got frontals too that they doing in barbershops like this regular hair. That's not real either.
Yeah,
it's not a toupee. It's a frontal like what women wear.
That's true.
So you have, in other words, you have a problem with men wearing fake hair.
I have a problem with the purpose of the hair. If they bald, you want to cover the baldness. But if he's trying to add length, who does that as a man? Unless he's in an industry that requires that length because he looks good on camera.
Okay.
But a basketball player, that's like LeBron James coming and
LeBron wears a piece.
Beard.
LeBron wears a piece.
He does.
His hair is it's one of those. It might be that surgical thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but not long. He ain't had no wig. Don't it even sound funny? An athlete with a weave. That's what he has. He has a weave.
So they call him Jimmy Bundle.
Okay, how somebody know that?
Okay, now let's take it a step further. What do you think about women having fake locks?
I don't have a problem with anybody having the fake locks. As far as I'm thinking, the purpose is always about, for me, if anybody is doing it, it's for vanity. It's because they don't like the shortness.
But
people don't look cute.
I
want to look good and long. So it's vanity. But a man doing it, it's like,
I'm creating our other
but that's a good question.
Where we're going to talk about natural hair and locks and stuff.
Yeah.
And on there, we will talk about the fake locks and stuff because I'm a person with real locks. Mm-hmm. And I started my locks in 2021. They 64 inches long.
Right.
So people always ask me, what do I think about people with fake locks?
And they think
mine is because everybody got fake. So that's a good discussion because there's a lot of people who have locks who don't like fake locks. They don't like people getting fake locks. Mm-hmm. They feel like locks is spiritual. It's more than a it's not just a hairstyle. It's not just a hairstyle. Mm-hmm. So, but then there's people that don't care. They got locks. They've grown them for years.
That's true. That's a good
If you
point.
want to get them for a style, it don't matter.
I think for me,
it's a good discussion.
And I think too, I'm sticking to what I say, and you guys can chime in on it if I'm off the bat here. I just think whatever, if you're doing that, whether you're like even with me with the color, a lot of times it can be for vain reasons. It can be because I like that color on my face and how my complexion is, because I don't like short hair.
Right.
I look funny with short hair. I want it longer. To me, it's
just changing the hairstyle.
It still goes to vain.
So what's different with him?
And that's not bad.
So how's that different with him? He want to change his hairstyle.
I've never heard of a man, heterosexual. He's heterosexual.
It's a lot of guys that get him, but he's
about men in the LGBT.
He's a famous guy. So the bottom line is,
it's like Michael Jordan getting fake locks.
The bottom line is,
doesn't sound right.
It's always somebody has to do it first. Yeah, so he could just be the first one to do it.
A tradition here.
All right. Then they talked about Nicki Minaj. She has a documentary coming out.
Okay.
And her radio show is coming out again. So that's Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
I used to like Nicki. I don't care about her.
She had a radio show before?
She had a radio show. It's coming back. Okay. And then she has a documentary. So maybe if I watch her documentary, we'll
learn more about
her.
Why she is the way she is now. And so
I used to like her a long time ago.
I like documentaries if they're really told in a truthful way.
If it's a good way. Because I was starting to get... Kanye was getting on my nerves. And then when I saw his documentary, I said, okay, now I know why I liked him in the first place. Yeah. So maybe with her documentary will make me go back to, okay, maybe this is why I liked her in the first place. Because right now, she's getting on my nerves. So
okay.
All right. So then they talked about Charlamagne's show. Hell of a Week.
Oh, yeah. Hell of a Week.
And he had Keenan on there from Saturday Night Live. And he kind of asked the question, is this the last season for Saturday Night Live? Keenan didn't say no.
Last season for him or last season in general?
For the show.
Really?
Was there rumors that it was going to be? It's rumors that this is it.
Why?
And that this might be it. This is the 50th season or whatever, and it's a good time to go out.
That show can go on to Jesus Come Back.
Well, because Lorne Michaels is over it, and he don't want to go on to Jesus Come Back.
Well, they can get somebody else. They pass the baton.
He don't want to pay. It's his show. So they was just saying how
that's one of those shows that it can go on because the cast is what makes it
right. So we don't know if this might be the last season for Saturday Night Live. So keep that up. If it is, it had a very good run.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of people's careers came from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, get in the hot tub. Don't make a sweat.
They talked about the rapper. I know, James. What's his name? Eddie Murphy and James Brown. Too hot for the hot tub. Oh, yeah. Then they talked about Future, the rapper Future.
Okay.
He surpassed Drake with the most platinum albums. A lot of people don't realize.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't realize that Future has done a lot of albums and stuff. Platinum albums.
God. Hands up.
So they was just saying how Charlamagne was saying how he keeps saying people keep sleeping on Future about when they name their top rappers and stuff. They don't think about Future.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Then he gave the donkey of the day, and he debated about this donkey of the day. He went back and forth on this donkey of the day, and he didn't know if it was right for him to do this. Apparently, there is a Chick-fil-A in Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And they put out a request. They wanted to have people work their drive-through, because it's hard to get people to work now at these fast food. They volunteer for 1 hour at the drive-thru. And in exchange, you'll get 5 free entree meals from Chick-fil-A for that day.
What do you mean? Some people that they're not workers.
Not workers.
Any John
Like
Doe.
you can go volunteer for 1 hour.
Oh.
In the drive-thru. And at the end of your thing.
That's my payment would be.
They'll give you 5 free entrees for that day.
Oh. So how many hours?
1 hour.
Oh, wow.
So he gave them.
I can do that.
So at the beginning, he gave them donkey of the day.
Why?
And said that was wrong to pay people in food. You might as well give them an honest day wage.
I don't think so.
And they took down the thing because they got so much backlash. And then people were calling Chick-fil-A headquarters, and Chick-fil-A said, we don't endorse this. We don't have anything to do with this.
Oh, that was that particular
they
location.
they own individually.
Owner,
So he took it down. So they asked the people to call in on the audience, Breakfast Club, what do you think? And most people, I agree. I don't think that's bad.
I don't think so
And I don't think they should have taken it hell.
I don't
think
think so
about
either.
it. 1 day's wage, 1 hour. It's like $12 an hour.
I can stand there and take your order for 1 hour to
$12 an hour is normal, and the government gonna take 30% of that.
Here's the thing that I don't like
We're
about
5 entrees.
Where did they get the pressure from to stop to not do it?
People.
I don't like
so
that.
Here's the thing.
And not enough people called in and
but
said,
most people that was calling the Breakfast Club said, and there was some people who was thinking like me. It could be a single mom. I got kids. 5 entrees, and all I gotta do is come and work for 1 hour,
Chick-fil-A.
and you pay for a whole meal for everybody for 1 day.
I can see if the reward didn't balance if you made me work for 4 hours. And I get an entree each hour.
DJ Envy almost said he worked for 1 hour, just his own, for 1 hour.
I don't understand.
Chick-fil-A is like $10 easily for an entree.
My concern is that the
people didn't like how it sounds. People working for food. Like, you need to give them the food. If you got enough to give people 5 entrees, you should be giving people food anyway. And my thing is, we have got to get out of that mentality that people got to give you something every single time.
Right.
This country is trapped into this whole thing of people owing you something.
Or we make the decision on what you should give. That's not your business.
Get out of this mentality. I don't know
he
why.
He wasn't doing anything uncreditable. He wasn't hurting anybody. He was saying, just as this little offer, as this little special thing, we're going to do this. And it made sense on what
But
he would
this
do.
mentality that we have in this country of handout.
Wow.
I think it comes from like food pantries and all kinds. Here's my thing. What's wrong with saying, can you volunteer at the food pantry? And we'll give you food.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that?
No, you're going to pay me.
No, but what's wrong with having people volunteer and get something?
Receive food for it.
What is wrong? I understand seniors, elderly people who, may be physically unable to. Mm-hmm. But if you are physically able to volunteer, because we volunteer at food pantries, and I see people
and we've taken food home,
and I've seen people volunteer and they take stuff home.
Yes, we take some home for ourselves.
And I don't see nothing wrong with that.
And sometime at the end, the volunteers may say, we have all this bread left. We have all these items. Hey, volunteers, you guys want to take a box home? We don't want this food to go to waste. Because that's another thing. We're a wasteful country.
What is wrong with our country has gotten to the point to where you're making people feel bad when they need to come and get a handout.
They're the ones that's raising their hands to volunteer. You're not forcing them.
But you need to force. I feel like you need to force them. I feel like you need to if you come in and you volunteer and you want to get something from the food pantry.
For me, physically,
what is wrong with you coming an hour or 2 hours early and helping us sort the food?
I don't know. I'm just surprised that the amount of people that called in made this restaurant owner change his mind.
Because people had a mentality in this country of handouts, and that I shouldn't have to work for anything that I need. That if you owe me, you need to give it to me. It's this mentality that is making our country. I feel like it's making our country weak. And it has nothing to do with whether you're a Democrat or Republican. We got to get out of that mindset, guys. I understand people who are you can't work physically, or you're a senior.
Okay.
I wouldn't make a senior work. They've done their time. They don't need to work.
And
but you young and you come into a food pantry and you can't give an hour or whatever of your time and take home a box of food.
Was the argument? I mean, going back to the restaurant, because I get the pantry thing, and that for me is like purpose of that. But going back to the restaurant thing, I don't get that. I don't get
why people would make them take it down.
Why would they upset? Did they specifically say you need to pay that person for that hour?
No, they saying that it's wrong to make people volunteer to work and pay them in food.
But that's wrong. But that's what volunteer is. Volunteer.
No, they saying you don't pay people. Like when Jesus gave food, he didn't make people work for it. He didn't just go.
But he didn't have to, because he was teaching. He was at a situation where he was teaching, so he wanted to make sure the people
was paying you to stay there and listen. You moved it again.
I'm sorry.
See,
I'm sorry. It was okay. That's a habit. But he wasn't paying people to. He was teaching. He was teaching, his principles. So he wanted people to make sure that they were not, head hurting and they were hungry and whatever. Here, I'm gonna feed you. But this is a business owner who wants some help in his drive-through. So volunteering, I don't have to put you on a payroll. I don't have to have you fill out a W-2. Volunteering for
and
1 hour of your time.
5 food entrees.
I'll give you 5, not 1. 5 food
People
entrees.
have a problem with that because you're giving.
I don't understand that.
I'm telling you because
I
it's
really
like they
don't.
feel like if you have food to give out, people should be able to just come there and you give them an entree.
No, not for a business.
That's what I'm saying.
You're working. You're helping him get that drive-through food.
I don't think he should have.
The orders through.
I don't think he should have taken it out. But
okay.
That's how some people feel.
I didn't do that. Okay.
I feel like that's how people feel. He took it down. I think they should put it back up because I don't think it's a problem with it. I have an issue with people feeling like a handout, and I'd be glad when we get past that with this country. So I feel like that's this country. That's the whole mentality. Period.
What you think though? I think if you got an ideal something like that, and you get pushback from people. Like
he can't do it. He can't if they push him back. That's bothering his business. So he got to let it go because you don't want to risk your business. People not coming to your business because they mad that you're doing something. That's what I'm saying. So I understand why he took it down.
Unethical.
A lot of times we can do something good, but because people are so politically correct out there and they so even the jokes we put up, I get comments from people like, so now abuse is okay. A woman hitting her husband over the head with a frying pan. Oh, so now if the man hit his wife, then they take you can't even joke anymore.
It sounds like
it's like you can't be Richard Pryor or
on The View.
It's over.
When comedians
politically
come
correct
on the show, there are comedians who come on the show and they say, we got to now.
Yeah.
Some of them have not, like Dave Chappelle. Some of them have come on the show and said, I don't give a F.
I don't. I'm still gonna put my jokes up. But if you don't like it, don't come to our channel.
Don't come. And then they keep telling
people, it's like the channel for you.
And that's what Dave Chappelle was pretty much telling people. I mean, he didn't rose up to the top where he like, if you don't like my jokes, don't come to my show.
But on the other side, if he's finding out that he can't go anywhere and that he can't be on TV, he can't do anything, he has to change his comedy because that's just the way the world is.
No, look at Howard Stern.
No, and Howard has changed.
He's on radio.
No, but he's changed.
How has he changed?
He's becoming more. He even said it.
Oh, okay.
There's things that
you don't say anymore.
You don't say anymore. You just don't do it anymore because it's so everybody's so on the edge or whatever. That's just normal human decency.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with something or not, sometimes I cuss. I don't cuss around her or my mom because they don't cuss. That's human decency.
We cuss sometimes.
No, I'm saying like I cuss. I can cuss you out like a sailor.
Oh, okay.
But I don't do that.
Why we say cuss like a sailor?
Because I don't know. I guess sailors cuss a lot.
Google that. You cuss like a sailor.
I guess they cuss a lot in the boat or whatever. But I'm saying you do it out of decency. It has nothing to do whether I think that I'm right or wrong for doing it. I just don't do it in front of you. It's like going to your grandmama's house or your mama's house. There's things you just don't do. You might do at your friend's house or something out of just common courtesy and decency.
One thing though that we did learn, I mean, we mentioned this in another show as well, but I'm gonna keep mentioning it again because this is an experience that we've had traveling overseas when we're in Europe. Whether it was Italy, over there by England, Paris, wherever we've gone, one of the comments that we hear a lot made about America is that we're sensitive. Yeah, Americans are so sensitive.
Oh, you go to other countries.
You're from America.
Oh my God, their jokes will kill you.
Everything is sensitive. When the sexuality,
look at the
profanity.
Look at the
we're
Japanese
so sensitive.
shows. Look at the Japanese shows. Even the pranks.
Yeah,
we look at those pranks and go, oh my God. You got somebody climbing through the window with a knife and get ready to kill somebody going, just joking. You can't do that here.
We're so sensitive.
So that's
and I thought about that when at first I was getting I was offended.
No, it's the truth.
And then I thought about it and I went, because when we start seeing the billboards, nudity is free there.
But then there's
sexuality is free there.
Right. But then there's some things that I kind of like that we in part sensitive. Because if you go to Japan, a lot of times before you get on the escalator, they'll push you. I wish you would push me.
We push back.
No, I'm saying like they'll push you.
They're
here.
very aggressive.
You don't push nobody getting on the escalator.
And I think too, we gravitate, adapt to that environment.
Yeah, so some things, I'm just saying, some things they are ridiculous, a little overboard.
Well, I'm talking about Europe more so than Asia.
There was some things even over there they was overboard. So but
they are right though.
Yeah, we are.
You've given a very good excuse, a very good example of how sensitivity we are. Everything's politically correct.
But yeah, when it's like that,
comedians now don't even know how to. They have to tiptoe over certain issues and comments that you can't make anymore. Okay. Like negativity about certain people and a race and a color. Right. Yeah, so we can be a little crazy.
All right, so that was a review of The Breakfast Club. Okay. You have anything else? Mm-mm. Okay, guys, so that was another Woods Report. See you later.